This is the first time we've released.
Oh, we started.
Yeah.
Hi. Where were we the other day? Oh, we did a pitch the other night, and I was like still getting the slides up, and so I was like, and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, we're starting straight off the banks, like no intro, and I was like, oh gosh, thank goodness.
Who was that?
The second one we did that morning, and you were like, hi everyone, we are, and I was like, oh my gosh, I thought there would be a bit of like, hi, I don't know, yeah,
It's
no,
so
it was
funny.
good, it was like.
Onto it.
I was like,
For
she
anyone
is
that's missed it, we're raising capital at the moment. And so we've been pitching to a whole lot of investors, and that's what Vic's referring to.
Yeah,
but
sorry.
This has been released for the first time ever on a Tuesday. I
I was surprised how many people wanted a Tuesday.
Same.
I thought we'd be like, oh, looks like we need to Tuesday and just make up the results.
Yeah.
Because we want to do it on the Tuesday.
So for context, the reason we wanted to move the Curve Weekly to be released on a Tuesday is that we record at the moment on a Friday.
Yes.
So then our darling editor, Emily, has like quite a quick turnaround. She has to kind of get it done. And last week we were like,
and it's funny, we're always like, should we do Friday night drinks? Yeah, let's clock off at 4. And in her brain, she must be going like, oh gosh, I'm
totally
not going to
can't
edit.
do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, she last week was editing until like 6 p.m. and Vic messaged me being like, she's still here editing and she's got a barbecue at her house. I was like, oh no, we're such shit employers.
She would never say anything. She's always like, it's fine.
Anyway, so we're moving the record date. It's now coming out on a Tuesday, and also there's heaps of news that comes out over the weekend anyway, and also we can talk about our weekends on a Monday. So I feel like it makes more sense.
Yes, and quite a nice way to start the week. Yeah.
Do you know what happened to me this morning? Just as a total aside, I've just moved into a new place, and I live in this apartment building situation. Last night,
How many bedrooms? 3?
there's 4.
4.
But there's 6 of us. The landlord thinks there's 4 people there. I really hope that they're not listening along. But anyway, so last night, I was going to say friends, housemates, how do you even say it? They are my friends, but they're also my flatmates anyway. They had drinks and I went to bed. The battery was dead. I was like, I just need to not be around people. And I thought they had this massive rager. So I started texting the group WhatsApp because I kept waking up to like, Alexa, play blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, shut up. And I messaged the group chat being like, guys, can you please like just be a little bit quieter?
You're that person.
But hold on, it wasn't even them. It was like the neighbours were having a rager.
Oh.
And I realised halfway through the night because I opened the door to go downstairs and I was like, oh my God.
They're still partying.
Yeah. It's like it's not even.
I'm going to go down in my pajamas.
So I opened the bathroom window and yelled out of it to the neighbours, going, "Hi, excuse me, could you please keep it down?" And I was like,
"Oh my God,
I can't believe I'm that person." And then this morning,
you saw them?
No, I went and rung their doorbell.
Oh my God, no.
And
why would you do that?
Okay, hold on, because I just thought.
Are you getting karma? Like, well, I'm up early and you had a rager, so I'm going to.
No, I wasn't trying to get revenge. They didn't answer the first time and I thought, fuck it, I'm going to ring it again. So I rang it again. And then this guy came to the front door and I was like, hi. I was really nice. I promise I wasn't like nasty Karen, but I was still Karen.
Oh my God, you're going to get like rubbish thrown across the fence.
Nah.
And like, you're going to start, your flatmates will be like, thanks, Soph. We've had such a good relationship with them and now they're like.
No, they're Kiwis.
No.
They're like 24-year-old boys. And apparently like the chat that's been heard from our backyard, from their backyard was like, has been pretty like holy shit balls.
We didn't have good chat when we were 24.
But no, like as in people pooing in the shower kind of situation. Like. So, the point is I knocked and I was like, no, I didn't. I rang the doorbell and I was like, hi, I'm Sophie.
And what time are we talking?
8 a.m.
So for someone.
They finish at about 4:30.
Yeah. 8 a.m. even like normal going to bed time in London is early.
Yeah.
You know? So 8 a.m. when you've been up till 4?
Yeah. It was shit for me. I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, this guy answered the door and I was like,
was he
hi? Nah. He also looked like he had cupping. He'd had cupping, you know, that like,
I
was like,
which you usually get on your back.
Yeah, but I was sort of like, for partiers until 4 a.m, kind of a juxtaposition, you know, to be getting cupping.
And there's like during the week I look after my body and the weekend I don't.
But anyway, I was just like, look, I live next door. I was like, when you're partying past 11, can you shut the doors to the garden? And he was like, I'm so sorry. It actually wasn't me, but like definitely. I was like, thanks. And I left and I thought, you know what? Yeah, like it's definitely giving mid-30s energy, like for sure.
Well, yeah.
But I was a polite Karen and I thought it was pretty crack up, to be honest. I was like, imagine.
I'm quite impressed with his response.
Same. He was really lovely about it. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm so sorry. Like, I know it was really loud. We'll definitely shut the door next time. I was like,
Nice.
that went well, actually.
I wonder if, when you have a few drinks and you're like, oh yeah, you don't realize how loud you are.
100%.
And so I feel like he might be like, yeah, no worries. Yeah, next time I promise. And then
he's screaming
next time it's like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
What about what happened with you with the charger? Now that was.
What happened with the charger?
Yes.
Oh my God. It's been a real week for me, hasn't it?
I'm kind of in his camp.
I know, fair. I think that's fair. Basically, so this is a classic ADHD symptom, by the way, to leave charging my devices until literally I'm on 1%. So
and like, bless your heart.
I
Like,
try.
I don't know how many times I've said, just buy a charger, keep it at work, keep it in
I
your bag,
have
keep
done
it
that.
Yeah.
I've also bought battery packs and put them in all my carry
It's funny
bags.
because you come over to me and you're like, can I borrow your charger? And I'm
want
like,
to be like, fuck off.
no, I'm like, I'm only like 99% charged.
Yeah. Yesterday I was on a meeting and my computer was literally on 2% and I was like, fuck, I don't have my charger here. And there was a laptop sitting next to me charging.
With their charger.
With their charger. And no one was there. And they hadn't been there for like 20 minutes. And I just pulled it out and put it in mine. I really don't, I get that that's boundaries, but I don't think it's that bad. Anyway, he came back, sat at the desk and I was like, hi. And I was like, sorry, is it all right if I'm here? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I actually also just grabbed your charger. Sorry, is that, and he goes, that's my personal charger. And I was like, oh my God, I'm dying.
You're like, yeah, I know, I just borrowed it.
I was like, sorry, I'm so sorry, I just borrowed it. And he was like, no, that's not okay. I was charging my computer with and I was like, oh.
Did you think he was taking the piss? Really?
Kind of at the start.
And then you're like, no.
And then I was like, okay, I'm just going to move. So I like got up and left.
Yeah, awkward if you'd have to sit there.
No.
next to him.
I was like, also, sorry.
Yeah.
It's 9:30 in the morning on a Thursday. Like, you don't have to be such a prick.
No, I know. I think I
know I crossed boundaries, but also like you could probably just be a little bit more.
Be like, oh, I actually really needed to charge that for a meeting I'm about to go to. Or like explain something for him. Like, yeah, be like, oh, that's okay, but I need it back now.
Yeah, like you can
ASAP,
still be rude but kind of polite. He was just like savage.
I always find people that are rude or like people that have the most intense road rage or, get really hung up on little things. I always feel like there's something else going on and you were just
100%.
unfortunately the tip of the iceberg. Because there's no way someone can get that.
Like you're pretty OCD with stuff. I feel like if someone had done that to you, you'd be like,
but I also hate
you
confrontation.
would be
So I'm like,
dying
it's
inside.
fine. It's totally fine. Go away. And I'd be like, fuck, Soph, you'll never guess what happened.
By the way, did you? So Vic,
Oh, God.
No, I was going to say Vic watched the Barbie movie last night. Sorry, we are going to get onto finance chat in a second. But did you? Because this has been something she's been. Side note.
Sorry.
It's just come on to Neon, and Neon is the sponsor of this podcast. What did you think of it? I need a quick debrief.
The first half was good. The second half, I just didn't see the hype, but I think it's going into a movie where there's so much hype, you expect it to be incredible. And I think I was just a bit like, oh, I mean, it's great.
I think when I know
And
what
then
you
people
mean.
are like, there's so many underlying meanings and stuff.
Are, though.
And I know there is, but like
in the movie, you just wanted to watch it and tune out.
well, yeah, I just I felt like I was looking for all these meanings, and it's like, it's a Barbie movie, just watch the Barbie movie, But yeah,
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when people were like 50 Shades of Grey, so bad, it's so bad. So I went into it expecting it to be horrendous. And I was like, it's quite good actually.
Yeah. It's like a book when someone's like, oh, you have to read this. Everyone's reading it, it's so good. And you read it and you're like, yeah.
But can we just say a quick thank you to Neon? Because although Vic might not be the biggest fan of the Barbie movie, there's heaps of other really great TV shows and movies on there. And I honestly, this is weirdly a partnership I'm very excited about.
And maybe you should have done that last night.
What?
Just woke up and watched a movie. Listen to the music next door and watch the movie.
I listened to ASMR instead.
Oh, yeah, nice.
I found this like mermaid spa. It was quite random. Yeah. I know that people think that's weird and it is weird, but I tell you what, it works every time.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, sorry. I feel like we've been absolutely on
rambling.
one. I think we'll have to put in the notes, sorry, skip to 10 minutes for finance chat.
Yeah. Just copy paste every episode. Soph, there's been a bit of action lately in the meme stocks again.
Oh.
Sophie's always like, why don't you tell me when?
When did this start?
So
have I missed it already?
Yeah.
Can you please text me next time? Like,
I've missed it once it's been used too. So
where do we find out in advance?
that's illegal.
No, but where do I see it? How do other people know about it?
It is insider trading. No.
Is it on Reddit?
On Reddit. Sit on Reddit all day, every day.
No, there must be a way you can notify yourself.
Yeah, so...
Explain meme stocks for people that don't know.
So a meme stock, so it actually started back in 2021 and it was companies that had done really badly. So GameStop was probably the most popular one some people might have heard of. AMC, which is an entertainment company, and then Bed Bath & Beyond were kind of the three big ones in 2021. And it's all these people on Reddit, so retail investors like you and me, banding together on Reddit going, we're going to buy these really shit stocks that haven't done well because because they're shorted by big hedge funds. So hedge funds, like a managed fund, but they can go short. So that means that they profit when the share price falls. So if you own...
Can we pause? Because when I first heard this, it was the most confusing concept ever. So the way I think about it is they're kind of taking, I know you hate the word bet when it comes to investing, but they're almost taking a bet that the stock is going to continue to do worse and worse and worse, which means that they're getting money from it. Because when you short a stock, it's almost like you're buying them from someone, so you're borrowing them. So if that stock was to go up, you would be royally effed over.
Yes, and you almost own a negative amount of shares.
So it's like when you buy a stock, if you buy a stock that you're hoping it goes up, you're long a stock. That's like the technical term, right? But hedge funds, they kind of like try and find all these companies that they think are going to do.
Proud.
Thanks. I've learned a lot in my time. They buy these companies that they think are going to continue to do worse. So say they were like, oh my God, there's this sofa company that's like doing really bad, but I think it's just going to keep plummeting and plummeting. They kind of take a bet on it, the idea that it's going to keep doing badly. So they buy all of these stocks from people. So they borrow the stocks and then they benefit if it continues to go down. But the whole point of meme stocks is that people find out what hedge funds have bought and basically try and like fuck with them.
Yeah, and it's kind of like screw you to the establishment or like fuck you. It's like you sitting in your big glossy offices like
how
trying
do
to
people
short
even find out what hedge
you
funds
have to disclose. So every quarter it's called a 13F. God, honestly, all the like terminology in the US around like disclosing it's called a filing. So you file what you hold.
Who on earth is spending time going through hedge funds filings? Like how?
Well, and it's also available like on Bloomberg and stuff. You can see if you own a certain large enough percentage, you can see it. So people can see it. So in 2021, all these people on Reddit were like, hey, let's screw with the hedge funds. And they bought the shit out of companies like GameStop. Their share prices went, like I'm talking up like 100, 200, 300, 400, 500%, like massively. And the thing when you own a stock, if it goes to zero, you've lost 100%. You know, if you had invested 1,000 and that share price goes from, I don't know, $10 to zero, you've lost $1,000. You can't lose any more. You can only lose what you've invested. Whereas when you're short a stock.
Oh my God, my brain. So sorry. Can we give an actual example then? So say you buy
shares in the sofa company at $10.
And then they go to zero, you've lost $10.
You've lost $10. Yeah.
And that's the most you can lose.
That's the most you can lose. Yeah. So the amount you've invested is all that you can lose. Whereas if you're short, say that sofa company, $10 a share, you buy one share and you think it's going to go down, but it keeps going up and up and up. And it's now $100 a share. It's $200 a share. There's no limit in what you can lose because there's no limit in how much that share price can grow. So you can lose infinity. But all these hedge funds have they'll have...
Surely they cap it.
They cap it, yeah. They'll have orders in there that are like, okay, if it reaches $12, sell almost, I don't want to lose anymore. But
so they'd have alerts basically as soon as something became a meme stock, they would see it happening and they'd be like, oh, well, we're fucked. We might as well just start selling now.
Yeah. But sometimes they don't because... I don't know, for whatever reason.
I guess they probably wouldn't know until it's too late that it's a meme stock opposed to something else.
These move so quickly, and you can lose money and then you can gain it again when it falls. So you're like, do I just hold on and hold on and hold on while that goes up and up and up? And the expectation that might fall, just the reverse. Like if it falls, you're like, I'm losing money, but I might win it back.
Right. So the idea could be that if you're a hedge fund manager and you're seeing someone like do a meme stock situation. So the sofa company, they've bought 100 of them for $10, whatever. And they can see it's going up and up and they're like, oh God, oh God, oh God.
Yeah.
But eventually people will lose interest. So if they hung in for long enough, it probably would go down again and their losses would get smaller.
Yeah. It's like that point of like, also I'm in so much shit. Like I've lost so much money.
I may as well hang in there.
I may as well hang in there.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's going to get worse or better.
Okay.
So it's like this whole, So anyway, the thing is that these meme stocks have come back this week.
I really want to take part even just in $10, you know? Like I'm not going to go and bet my life savings on it, but I just want to feel a part of the fun.
Yeah. So it's interesting. So the person on Reddit who has kind of started all this, his name's Roaring Kitty. I don't know.
No way. Oh, his like handle is Roaring Kitty.
So everyone's like, Roaring Kitty's back. Oh my gosh. I don't know why he's called that. Anyway.
I think it's genius. It's so funny.
So the share price.
Do you think, is it definitely a guy? Could it be a girl?
I don't know. Yeah, it could be a girl.
Roaring Kitty could be.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he's come back with a vengeance. Yeah. So anyway, GameStop shares were up 200% last week from $17 to like they're now over $65. 175 million shares changed hands. So like if you put that in perspective, that's 30 times more than the 1 year average. So that's like huge, massive turnover.
Can you just give me how much they lost? Like what did the hedge fund actually lose?
About $1.4 billion.
Billion?
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's enough to send someone bankrupt, right?
Totally. And they did back in 2021, hedge funds went bankrupt. If you don't have what we call like stop loss orders, like those orders we're talking about, those limits, you could be very, very screwed. Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah. So everyone's kind of confused though, like why again? Why is it coming back into favor again?
What do you mean? Wouldn't we just continue doing this? It's pretty funny.
Yeah, but it's like you'd think they'd pick new stocks. I don't know. But anyway, it's just like, oh, they're back. Shit.
I reckon they're just trying to be really clever and random with when they do it and random with the kind of companies they are so that no one can see it coming.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I think what it shows is that like the regulator is so powerless to this.
Yeah.
Because it's market manipulation, which is illegal, but it's not any different to
someone buying a share because they genuinely want to see it go up.
Totally. And it's like you're not telling someone to buy shares. Roaring Kitty's just sitting there going, I'm buying this. Like who wants to come on the journey with me? Which is exactly kind of like we could hold an event and be like, I'm buying this. You know, and then if we had a big enough event, we could move markets. You know,
imagine.
But you know, like it's kind of
holy shit. Yeah. Sorry, I just have had unlocked a new goal for the curve. Imagine if we could boycott like Shell or like all the petrol stations and be like, cool.
Yeah. But anyway, it's quite exciting.
Can you please promise me as soon as you find out about it, you'll text me just because I want to see. I want to be involved in the action. I want to Google Roaring Kitty and just
follow Roaring Kitty on Reddit.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. But it's also quite good for Reddit.
Yeah.
Good PR for Reddit. Now Reddit's listed.
Yeah. Because so a couple of months or maybe not even that long ago, Reddit basically listed as a public company and punters were able to invest, which normally doesn't happen with an IPO, right? It's normally like big corporates, whereas what is their share price doing out of interest?
It's gone up again. They had a good announcement the other week.
Surely this would make it go up.
Yeah, unless the regulators do come in and go, hang on, you need to not.
But what are they going to do?
I know.
Like put Roaring Kitty in jail?
Yeah. If they
Imagine if they're like trying to track down Roaring Kitty by like his VPN or something and they turn up at a house and he's just moved again.
Yeah. Reddit's done really well. It's up 12% last week. So it's well above its IPO price. Like it's doing really, really well.
What did it list at? And what's it at now?
It listed
for anyone that's like, what is that?
$46 and now it's $56. So it kind of went up, down.
It's like the first price you can buy it, basically.
Cool. Yeah, so that's going on. But if I was a hedge fund, I was short any stock.
Surely you just stop shorting.
I'd be so scared. Yeah. Like, am I going to be next?
It'd also be quite career ruining, wouldn't it? If like in your portfolio you lose $1.4 billion. Yeah.
And like, I hate making analogies investing in gambling, but like it's kind of like if you had bet on black at, I don't even know what the game is, blackjack maybe. I'm like, I just know they'd bet on black or red.
Yeah.
Anyway, and like you'd lost money and then you're like, oh, I'll just bet again. And then you lost money. You know, you keep going because you think you can win back.
But it's like self-sabotage.
And I think it's probably a mindset. If you were like, oh my gosh, I've just lost, 1.4 billion was spread across hedge funds. But if you'd lost that much, you would be like, I just need to bet bigger and better. And
it's like the psychology of money and investing is like, I think that's a really good example of how it's almost like admitting defeat is just so hard. Regardless of what it is, like whether it's investing or just in life. Yeah. The ego, I reckon, just kicks in. It's like,
totally.
You know, like to admit like, oh, I've really
fucked
up.
I remember like all the companies that I've worked at, the one thing was just like, if you make a mistake, let us know, like, or, there's no judgment. And there was no judgment from my peers when I made a mistake and vice versa, because as soon as you start being like, oh, you're shit, then it feeds into that psychology of like, oh, well, I don't want my next one to be shit. Or if it does start falling and I'm losing money, I'll hide it. Like you just get all this psychology starts
like
going
shame.
here.
And also
so much shame.
Money is just so emotional, isn't it? My God.
Yeah. And in other news, Duolingo.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually a public company now.
Okay, so you forwarded me an email with them and I didn't read it. But you were like, this is
you
cool.
Wouldn't, and I was like, it was so, like the headline, all you needed to read, the first couple of lines.
What were the first couple of lines?
Well, good thing I've put it in the Curve Weekly. So it IPO'd, for context, so first became public in 2021.
Duolingo, for anyone that has not used it or heard of it, is an app where you can learn. Is it just Spanish or is it any language?
No, it's like so many languages. Yeah,
it's like gamification, and you get through different levels and you learn like.
I love it. Like,
do you use it?
I used it a while ago before I went to South America. I used it to learn Spanish, and I remember putting it through my car radio, my car speakers.
Showing your age. Yeah.
And I was like, and it was like teaching me Spanish, and I was like, hola. And I was like, hola. I didn't get through many levels, to be honest, but it was actually really good just to have it in your pocket if you're commuting or anyway. So it's a really great, fun.
Like fix an ambassador for Duolingo.
But anyway, they announced that they had seen over 50% increase in users because of artificial intelligence.
No.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean because of artificial?
So
oh my God, sorry.
Their first quarter of this year, they had 7.4 million subscribers.
Yeah.
And they have put that big jump of 50% growth down to investing in artificial intelligence. And it's all about them being able to create content faster.
Oh.
Yeah.
So like the amount that they're able to create now is so much greater because of AI.
They've cut down the content development pipeline. They've just like, but what usually I think took them like, I think they said like a few years is now taking like months, like stuff like that. Yeah, usually took them 5 years is now taking them 3 months. Whoa. So what they can produce and put out there, which means they're attracting more subscribers.
Wow.
I was like, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, okay. I'm not surprised you sent that to me. That's quite on brand for us.
And it's quite interesting because a lot of other online learning platforms are actually going backwards. So the fact that these guys...
So we can invest in Duolingo.
We can invest in Duolingo.
Maybe I'll dabble in a bit of... I was trying to think of what... I'll use some pesos. Pesos, which is the Mexican currency.
Yes, yeah.
To buy some Duolingo.
Yes. But you know how we just spoke about how companies have to file what they invest in?
Yeah.
So Warren Buffett has just done his filing.
What's he
invested in? And everyone's like, ooh, honestly. It's like
Can I alert myself of this? How do I find out?
Yes. I'll get back to you on how.
Yeah, but like how did you find out? You saw it on the news.
On the news, yeah.
Anyway, what is he invested in?
Everyone's been speculating he's been buying like a mystery stock. So the finance world's being like, what is he investing in?
Because Warren Buffett doesn't buy lots of different stocks, does he? When he buys, he goes hard.
Yeah, he goes hard. Yeah, he doesn't.
He doesn't half-ass anything.
No, he doesn't half-ass anything. And so he has bought into an insurance company called Chubb.
Okay.
And so
Chubb, like
Chubb, CHUBB.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I think I've seen that.
Yeah, they're property insurance and stuff. And so he loves insurance companies because they sit on big pools of cash. So if you're paying your insurance premium, you pay it to me. Say I'm the insurance company. I sit on it, and then I might pay out every now and then if you have an accident or if you need it or whatever. So you're sitting on this big pool of cash. So he's like, they're just great business models. As long as you can keep that gap of premiums and payouts a buffer enough. So anyway, he's invested in a whole bunch of insurance companies. So it's kind of not surprising.
Can you list some of them?
I knew you'd ask me that.
Well, then why didn't you come prepared? I feel as though, do you remember?
They're boring. He likes to invest in boring companies because the boring ones are the ones that go under the radar. They tend to do well. People don't really care about them. You use them all the time. He likes boring companies.
What I was going to say is, do you remember that massive eruption that was happening in Bali and people stopped insuring people going to Bali? You just couldn't get insured if you were going on a trip there because it was just, and I think as global warming gets scarier, insurance companies are going to struggle to, they probably won't insure a lot of things with people or land, etc., because of weather. Like there's all sorts of stuff that's going to come in. And I also think in terms of their payouts, they're going to be enormous. So for me, in terms of thinking long-term investing, I feel like insurance companies are going to be in some pretty scary situations.
Yeah, I agree. But I think they'll just increase the premiums.
Oh, true.
Yeah. So instead of, I don't know what my insurance on my house is like $2,000 a year or something. It might be a case, yes, we've got extreme weather events that ends up being like
4,000 instead of
100,000. It could be, if I live by the water, on a beach, I could be paying upwards of like 100,000, and then that impacts the price that I would then be able to sell my house for. I don't know, it's like this whole cycle of, but I think insurance will, yes, they'll adapt, or it'll be like, hey, no, we won't insure if you're near a beach or if you're by a river or something like that.
So has he gone and invested in heaps of different?
Yeah.
Did you
He's
find
had
the
them
list?
for ages. He's like Geico is one of the biggest ones. That was one of his first investments. Yeah, it's like a boring list.
Yeah,
It's not like
fine.
Southern Cross.
Yeah. Partners Life, they sponsored our podcast.
Partners Life. But yes, anyway. And
imagine if Warren Buffett invested in a New Zealand insurance company.
Oh my God, imagine. Yeah.
Cool.
But anyway, what I'm trying to explain from this is that he has invested in insurance companies. It's something he likes, he knows, he understands. He's invested in them for a long time. So he's doubling down, investing in more things that he knows.
Yeah.
He's not venturing into AI. Even when he invested in Apple for the first time, everyone was like, whoa, you said you'd never invest in technology companies because you don't understand it. So that's he's like, no, but it's more of a consumer products company. So yeah, I mean, it's not surprising he's investing in another insurance company. And he has even said he thinks that artificial intelligence has a place in the world in the future, but he's like, his time on earth is probably not going to be investing in it because he doesn't. I know. He's like, that's for the next generation of Berkshire Hathaway.
Warren Buffett. I really want to meet him.
I know.
Was I?
Yeah. But anyway, if you're sitting there as Chubb and you've got Warren Buffett buying shares, you're pretty. Yeah. I think the number of people that would have bought shares in Chubb now after that. But again, he takes a very long-term view. You know, like he is taking big bets. He's taking 10+ year views with these companies. So don't expect to be like, oh, cool, I'm going to get a little boost in the Chubb share price because Warren Buffett's buying. Yeah. And
Cool.
that is the Curve Weekly.
Also, just wanted to say thank you to everybody who filled in our survey because we did a bit of a research piece a couple of days ago. We put it up, honestly, for like 24 hours, planning on getting 500 people to fill it out, to give us feedback on our ideas and what people wanted to see in the investing club, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
We went to sleep and we were literally like, oh, there's no way 500 people will do it overnight. We woke up and there was like 800 and something. So we extended, we've done like a little founding membership and there's 1,000 people. I imagine a lot listening to this podcast are probably some of those. So just wanted to say thank you for everyone taking the time to do that because it's really awesome to look through.
Thank you.
What everyone wants to see from us. And
yeah, and we're excited.
yeah, it's so exciting, isn't it?
Founding members.
Okay, thanks everyone for being here.
Yeah,
sorry about
yeah.
like the kind of minimal finance chat this week. We'll up that next week.
Yeah, sorry.